Hello! Welcome back to Satisfactory. Now this was originally going to be my challenge world, which I named it challenge, but uh, some of the stuff was on the world grid, but not so much. I get too antsy about trying to align everything and all that. But as you can see in the top right, we're on phase 4. A quick little tour. Started in the Rocky Desert, which I've started in all the starting zones, but this one, yeah, thank you, loud. Yeah, you. Why are you so loud? You're making energy out of energy. Calm down. Drone. But I actually think this is probably, from what like I said, I've played in each starting zone, but I've only played this starting zone one other time. I think it was like the quickest I just moved on to a different save. I think when I didn't build my first stuff here when I was started in the Rocky Desert the last time. I like it just because there's so many iron nodes, like right by these pillar things. You got one there, you got one there, there. Swing around the other side, assuming they don't lose power and fall to the ground to my death. Yeah, you got one there. You got limestone, which is everywhere. Got one there, got one there. I like how you can just, I mean, obviously I could do a lot more with all this, like design-wise. My designs are kind of just, hey, square box. Woo. See? Square box. With stuff on top. But okay, let's take a little small tour. This is the reinforced iron plates, the stitched variety. The obvious best one in my opinion. Because yay! Almost 6 a minute without overclocking. Oh, but you got wire. Yup. That's when the good old alternative recipes come into play. I think you might still get a better ratio of like material if you just use copper. I don't know, I haven't actually looked. Well, funny I should say that. Well, that's... This was my small little automatic wiring. That saved up for when I need it again, which I'm gonna need it again. I got some modular frames. That's mainly just, this is mainly just dimensional depot, as you can see. But yeah, we got those going into there. Got the wire, got the plates going up. No, I don't have any lights in there. At the time, I didn't have any of the lights bought from the awesome shop. And up here, we had the steeled frames. Because again, iron. You can make so much out of iron now. Because apparently they did not have iron pipes pre 1.0, which I didn't play. I got this game this year in January, I think mid to late January. In my job, I do the deliveries for Walmart, like Spark screwdriver thing that allows me to play this at an obscene amount. At least sometimes. But I have a little over 1,000 hours. Yeah. Yeah, we got these pipes and the plates from below going on over. Oh, can you catch them? Hello. Curved belt. Please. Can you guess what's going on in here? That's right. Heavy modular frames. All of this setup to make almost 3 heavy modular frames per minute meme is alive and well right here. Yep, all this. I mean, it's overkill, obviously, because things are standing still. It's not. Oh, it'll move. So yeah, this is a blueprint. I'd lose my mind if I did this so many times. Just freehand. Yeah, iron pipe. Plenty of iron pipes. Both of these are filled. See, almost 20,000 iron pipes right there. Save those for a rainy day. The top row literally is being saved. It's not going into that. But if I need anything for milestones, which I don't think I need much anymore for milestones, at least past this point. But this is probably one of my favorite blueprints that I actually made. Whee! I didn't just download it from the internet. I'm sure someone has this way more efficiently set up. But 28 smelters. That was actually this is like the 2 versions ago, because before I don't think I had the bottom row of splitters. I don't think I had any of the splitters in the first version of it. I just had those smelters. That was it. But I've since updated it to include the splitters. Didn't update it to include the lifts because it wouldn't fit on the Mark II blueprint. It's too long. I did have another splitter down here at one point in the blueprint, but I decided to delete it because I was going to try to evenly split the like whatever ore is coming down here. Trying to split it down the middle here. Half would go down this way to the 3rd or 4th one down, and then the rest would go the other way. I'll go one way, get lift, go up, there you go. But then now in the version where I added the splitters to this side, I still didn't have the power like in the blueprint. But I found this is probably the quickest way to do it, since I have the frame, the foundation. Bloop. Put a wall one at each one, and since base, what are they actually called? Wall outlet. So base wall outlet can hold 4. That is exactly how many you need. So boop, 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 boop. There you go. Obviously, it could be slightly more optimized. Looks a little goofy. Let's do a is this cinematic? I don't know. Popping and weaving out. It's probably not as cinematic as it could be. But yeah, we got the part of the iron pipes go to each side into the assemblers along with the concrete to make the butter bars. Right here. Which, obviously, heavy encased frame. Yeah, that's there ain't no screws except for that one machine that I haven't bothered to change the recipe on over there. No more screws. There you go. And it actually, yeah, it's still overflowing and it's going into the center. Ooh, 7. But these are going to be used for the fused frames, which are going to be, assuming I can finagle it without it looking horrendous, up here. Let's get in our little explorer. Into the garage. Open up. There we go. I just put these walls up a little bit ago. Not sure if I'm going to leave them. But we got, let's see, what all do we got coming in here? We got some aluminum scrap going down because I need to move that. What could this be? Iron, oh boy. What could this be? Copper. Oh boy again. There's the scrap. And yes, I do realize one of the not so great parts about this being set up like that is that these top ones take quite a while to actually get saturated. And I've thought about doing something like that, but I would still need this row here. I would still need all of these. I would just be taking the belts from there and adding more a lift to each one of these. Nice, alright, I'm going up and down with the camera. So I guess you could split it again down here. Have it come up and then that way, but still, I mean, or you could have a different, I want to say a different source of them, but I mean, it does fill up eventually because things inevitably are backed up unless you are 100% efficient on every single machine, which I'm not. Okay, maybe I am. Yeah, now these are 60 because the copper sheets take a little bit to get down there. And it takes a little bit just to get the copper ingots because it's splitting down to there. Since this is for the alkali sheets and that's for copper sheets. Copper's over here, aluminum is over here. And this is making the heat sinks, which are getting ready to make the chillers, which I need for the turbo motors. But to do that, I have to finagle some nitrogen gas, which isn't. Gases are the easiest thing to work with, at least as far as anything that goes into a pipe is. No head lift. Yay, it's a gas, it's lighter than air. Alright. Same thing with rocket fuel, and I'm pretty sure any of the in-game matters. Dark matter residue, excited plutonic matter, all that is no head lift. Go crazy with the pipe. Yes, I know I've been playing for... I've really been playing throughout. Ooh. Going into another dimension? Nope, same dimension. Look, I even tried to put some decor now. I still find like catwalks and stuff kind of pointless, since if you're past a certain point in the game, you're gonna have the hover pack. And if you're running through factories and facilities and anything like that, you're probably going to be surrounded by power poles, which that's how you fly. I guess aesthetics, but this is going to go up more. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to make more, using more of the smelter blueprints and put up here. I do know I'm gonna have to definitely use a couple of those blueprints for when I get the copper powder, which, as you can see by the milestone up there, once I do that one, I can do the copper powder, which originally I was gonna do here, but I decided, hey, I gotta get these heat sinks made at some point. Just use the copper that's right here. And I still have an entire smelters that can provide the copper ingots to make the powder once I get it. Right here. Which I think it's what, 300 ingots to 50 powder? Look. Now it's making 30 apiece, so 10 of them is 300. So 10 of them can provide for technically one of these once I get it. It's either 300 or 250. I even put lights in here. And this wiring looked a lot worse earlier, because I had the Mark II power poles here and here and here, and it was powering both top and bottom. It was a rat's nest. I cleaned it up a bit. Yeah, I know that one's lower. I like these poles though, or these beams. So much that I use them over here. It's nice to just watch everything work sometimes. Watch it all good. I thought about actually getting Factorio, since I've only ever played the demo for that. And it's definitely interesting, but I think I've got too much of the sunk time fallacy in this game. I mean, yeah, after 1,000 hours, yeah, I think you got a little bit of time invested. Just a touch. Yeah, I like that train station named Smedjebacken. Wait, what? No, these aren't even doing anything yet. It's honestly, a lot of this is prep for when I get Mark III miners, which I technically already have. Yeah, I do. As you can see, I don't have very many fuse modulator frames or turbo motors in my dimensional depot yet, though, because they're not automated yet. That's just what I've found at the crash sites. And I know these platforms, again, a blueprint, I know they kind of get pretty snug close to the smelters, but I do like that. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna like section off anything, or if I'm actually gonna even enclose it all. Because I mean, I've seen a lot of videos of where people have like it totally enclosed design. It looks amazing, but at the same time, having it open, it does look pretty cool at the same time. I mean, the one guy, Kibitz showed off his 1.0 world not earlier this year. Can't remember his name. The guy whose save he was looking at, but that was entirely in the Dune Desert. That was amazing. That takes a lot more time and patience than I have. Yeah, what a thing that kind of annoys the crap out of me. Okay. The lights aren't on, but they are. It's not my what? Is that's why I had to push it twice? No, maybe not. Where's the light at? Is it that teeny little thing right there? Okay, now we're on a quest here. Where is the light? Where? It's supposed to come from there. They're not on. But these will turn on automatically if you go too far away from the whatever vehicle you're in. Kind of drives me nuts. If I don't want them on, I don't want them on. I mean, I have the mod where you can just change the time of day and just leave it like that. But a lot of times I like it going to night because I like seeing all the different machines lit up at night. And for the last stop on our very small factory tour, got the tunnel to the train station, which is not much of a train station. It's just one. It doesn't even have anything getting loaded into it right now. It's just here to supply power to the rails so I could make... Oh yeah, there. Yes, I'm using cartographer. I have not had any issues with it. I've heard people say it causes lag. I have never had lag. For the first time, I have a mostly world rail system. That one's picking up, yeah, the crystal oscillators, which I did. I don't know why I did those. Oscillating crystals, yeah. And the aluminum cases to make radio control units, which are getting droned into right over here. That's what was... That's what they were delivered. This is the first time I've had a rail system that I can just hop in a train and go all the way around the world. And what I want to do with a little bit past the my original coal power setup here, what I want to do with at least some of the shoreline here, since there's... I didn't know this, so I was looking at the map on Satisfactory Satisfactory calculator, whatever, that shows you the map and where all your stuff is. The amount of pure concrete I have over here is, or limestone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pure copper nodes. I want to have this and part of that filled with wet concrete refineries. Or at least have storage for concrete. And I have a tiny little setup right here for compacted coal, just for the dimensional depot. As you can see, coal power served me well. Never gonna touch it again. I think that was actually on the world grid. And I think most of this train line is technically on the world grid. There's a nitrogen, which I'm thinking I'm just gonna pipe over. I'm not gonna have it go in the train and get fluid trained and all that. Maybe. I mean, that produces, I think, 780, not overclocked. And you don't need that much, because I'm going to be using the alternate for the cooling devices. The cooling device rather than the cooling system. And it takes heat sinks, motors, and 60 nitrogen per minute. That's not a lot. Yes, I know these are path block whoever's are probably not set up right. I was just seeing what it would do. Since I do have it, there's the other train. We can do it. And push comes to shove, I will jump out of this train, slam on the brakes, jump out, and just delete this train. Which it shouldn't, because I'm going to where that other train is, and it makes a turn to do that. And yes, I do have deuterium running below the train. Because I did all that right before I got the hoverpad. I was like, I'm not doing this. See, I overdid it. Don't even need to destroy it. Come back, man. Yeah, it's... Oh, wow. And I've only got 2 crystal oscillator manufacturers set up. And I'm pretty sure it's the base recipe. I don't think I overclocked it. I think it's just making 2 per minute. But I waited until I had a good chunk saved up. And here we are. Got the fuel being made right over here. Got the computers, which is almost full, which will be really nice. Getting those sunk after it's full. I don't think it'll really get to being full, since this is using 3.75 a minute and I am making 4. But that is where I'm going to wrap it up for today. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you would to see more Satisfactory content, because I'm probably going to be making more, since this is like almost the only game I've been playing for a while. I dabble obviously in D4 and Path of Exile, but this is just, at least as far as Path of Exile goes, I don't have to worry about dying as much here. I know it didn't get good. Well, maybe. Alrighty. I will see you guys later.